Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Unity. Welcome everyone that's joining us on live stream. My name is Syntysche Groverland, and I'm filling in for Jack and Norma tonight. And I'm going to start by chanting. We're going to do it satsang style, so I will lead the chant and Larry will repeat, and you can follow up with Larry on the affirmations. They're easy affirmations. This is a pretty well-known chant. And then we will go into, I will talk for a little while, and then we'll meditate together. I haven't done this service in over 2 years. It's bizarre. I used to do it all the time, and it's just nice to be here. Feels good. All right, so I invite you to sing with us. Is it hard to hear me? Somebody just went like this, like they'd like me to be turned up a little bit, like just a tad. So it's one thing to listen to chanting, but they say to sing is to pray twice. It gets us out of our intellect and into our mental chatter, and it actually brings us into our heart. So singing is actually really healing, so I encourage you to sing along.
Kindness of the heart, kindness of the heart, breath of life, breath of life, I bow to you, I bow. Kindness of the heart, kindness of the heart, breath of life, breath of life, I bow to you, I bow to you, and I'm coming home, 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 and I'm coming home. Lotus sitting on the water, lotus sitting on the water, beyond time and space, beyond time and space. This is your way, this is your way, this is your grace, this is your grace. Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om to you.
Coming home to you.
Coming home to you.
Coming home to you.
Coming home to you.
Namo Gurudev Namo.
Om Namo Gurudev Namo.
Om Namo Gurudev Namo.
Om Namo Gurudev Namo.
Coming home to the light within.
Coming home to the light
within. This is your way.
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 I bow to you.
I bow to you.
Thank you. I wanted to start talking from a book that I talked from actually Sunday, if you watched the service, The Silence of the Heart by Paul Farini. This has been my constant companion lately. It's gotten me through it's getting me through a challenging time. So I just wanted to read this passage and then I'll move on from there. When God is standing securely in your life, there's harmony within and peace without. You honor yourself and others equally. That is the sign of God's grace. This grace then becomes the guiding light of your life. It is the compass by which you navigate. Whenever you experience disharmony within or contention without, you know you have lost your alignment with the divine will. You know it is time to stop, breathe, and recenter. It is time to surrender your personal concepts and desires and pray for the highest good of all concerned. Grace is not continuous for anyone. New lessons emerge that must be learned. No matter how far the heart has opened, there will be times when it still contracts in fear. That is to be expected. Perfection does not happen externally. As long as you are here in a body, you cannot be mistake-free. So you begin to understand that grace comes and goes, alignment happens and is lost, but only temporarily. because you know how to reestablish the connection. You know how to re-enter the dance. The rhythm of the dance beats with each heart. The breath comes in and goes out. God appears and disappears. Attention comes and goes. Self is forgotten and remembered. There's alternation of movement to and fro, yet also an overall continuity into which moments of discontinuity are welcomed. It is a gentle, forgiving dance, not a rigid one. This is the best life has to offer. If you're looking for more than this, you search in vain. If you're looking for absolute enlightenment, absolute certainty, you will not find it. Grace happens in the flow of life, not apart from it. And life is like a river moving from the mountains toward the sea. When it leaves the mountains, it rushes downward, impetuous and intent to reach its goal. Then it levels out and moves for what seems like an eternity through fields and plains separating into different streams, joining with other bodies of water. By the time it reaches the ocean, it no longer has any urgency. Instead, it has a confidence born of experience. But by the time it reaches the ocean, it no longer sees itself as anything other than ocean. It rests completely in itself, without beginning or end. It will be that way with you too. When you enter fully into your life, all that held you separate will be gently washed away. Breathing in, you will open to embrace what comes. Breathing out, you will gently release. I really appreciate that passage. I find it to be very helpful when we realize that we are in ebb and flows. And if there's one thing, if I think what it's saying is that Spirit is always available when we take the time to quiet our minds and visit with this greater unseen realm that we can tap into whenever we quiet the world and quit looking to the world for our approval or our peace or our joy, and remember that really the spiritual life is a peaceful, inner peaceful life, and that asks us to make time for a spiritual practice so that, we have the ebb and flows, but the meditation makes the peaks and the valleys be less peaks, less valleys. It's more of a rhythm like this. And yet life still happens, and suffering still happens in life because we live in the world. We are spiritual beings first, but we live in the world that's filled with turbulence, especially now. And we live as parents with children that wake up in bad moods. We wake up in our own bad moods. We live with jobs that can be really fulfilling and then sometimes really, really a drag. And then we have tragedies happen, and things happen that break our hearts in a million pieces. And that will be a valley that you have to be in for a while you move through those dark days of grief. And that's where I have been. And I shared that on Sunday that I lost one of my closest friends this last month to cancer. And although I've been in a state of grief, I've also been in a state of peace, but I've also been in a lot of tears. I see that joy and grief, they stand right next to each other. It's nothing to be ashamed of, to be in a state of reverence for your inner feelings, in your truth about your inner feelings. Some people will look at grieving as being weak. And I had a conversation with somebody last week that pretty much came to me and wanted to shake me out of being in the state that I was in. She thought that she wanted to rescue me. called me to go to breakfast and share her point of view of what strength is when we're facing difficult times. And I simply did not agree with her in any way, shape, or form. When you've faced grief, which I've lost a child, you learn a lot about grief. You learn that you have to feel it. You know, any avoidance of it sticks it somewhere else where it's going to rear its head in other areas of your life, and you won't truly heal and move into that place where you discover the gift that comes from it. When we go into the depths of our feeling place, when we lose someone, or we lose something like a career that we really loved, or we lose a relationship that we really loved, it draws us inward to feel the truth about anything that's been stored in there that we kind of put away because we just didn't want to deal with it. Grief opens all that up. So it's a channel for all of it to flood for us to face. And if you really dive into it and face it and feel it and grieve it and not to push the tears away, you find a greater joyful life. Because from that contrast, you've observed that those things that broke your heart because you loved so generously. You loved so authentically and truly. And there's a time and a season for every feeling that is to be experienced, as long as we're not hurting another through the process. As long as we're loving ourselves in that grief. So in the book Wild Mercy, Mirabai Starr writes this: "The way of the mystic is the way of surrender, of dying to the false self to be reborn as the true self. And God's self, the radiant, divine being we actually are, it's not that the old self, the personality, the ego, the stories we tell about our lives is bad or wrong. It's that when we recognize the essential emptiness of our individual identity in light of the glorious gift of interconnectedness with the One, independence becomes much less compelling. And that's the path of the feminine, the path of connection and community. But it's the falling away of the old self to become more immersed in our Christ-light self, our Buddha nature, whatever word makes you feel connected to this greater love that guides and directs everything about our lives. Even the tragedies are divinely guided. Even though we wish we didn't have to face those, they deepen our understanding of what our soul needs and learns in this life. And it's not all about just happiness and joy. Contrast shows us the truth of our being. And when we move through those dark days, when you birth into this new way of seeing life, you see from a new perspective, from a deeper perspective, from a more wise perspective, from more of an eagle view of life. Something emerges from those times that we have to go internally. And that's been everybody with COVID and isolation and all that's been going on this last year. And then we all can tack on other suffering that came up, which my house almost burnt down this year. I have a structure that's a barn on my property that blew over a month ago. It just seems like it's been one of those years. It's like, are you going to let go of all attachments to everything that matters? This is a real time of surrender to what is truly important. And my spiritual practice has deepened. I need it to get through my day. And I feel God in the most palpable way. Because I've been stripped of all of these layers that protect me from me. I'm so close and connected to my soul, to what this soul's development is to do and be this lifetime. And we don't stop doing that till we take our last breath and let go of this coat, and then we keep doing that on the other side and prepare for the next soul's journey, because the soul is here to grow. And the soul doesn't grow from an easy life. There's a purpose in the ebb and the flow of life. And so sometimes we feel really close to God, as this book is saying, and sometimes we don't feel so close to God because we have to reach in when we're hurting and things are not going our way and it's difficult to find God in it. And then when we do, that's when the light starts to emerge again into our new sight, into our Christ light self. In Heart-Centered Metaphysics by Paul Hasselbeck, it says, "The method by which Jesus evolved from sense consciousness to God consciousness was first the recognition of the spiritual selfhood and a constant affirmation of its supremacy and power. Jesus loved to make the highest statements, like, 'I and the Father are one.' Secondly, by the power of his word, he penetrated deeper into omnipresence and tapped the deepest resources of his mind, whereby he released the lights, life and substance of spirit, which enabled him to get the realization that wholly united his consciousness with the God mind." So, I talked on Sunday about how there's been letters found of Mother Teresa since her passing. And there are a few of her moments where she's lost faith, where she didn't feel God, that the suffering and the poverty day in and day out for all these children that she looked out for took a toll on her on some days. And some days she didn't even believe there was a God. Which reassures us that a saint that eventually became a saint also had moments of feeling very separate from God, from the hardships of life. But by saying her truth, we don't condemn her. By being your truth, you will reveal unto yourself that great Christ self that you are. To have faith enough to keep searching for God when things feel like God is nowhere. God will appear, reappear, in a way that you've never experienced God before. That's why we have all these experiences, to deepen our connection to our divinity with this greater love. William Blake said, "The deeper the sorrow, the greater the joy. When we send our grief into exile, we simultaneously condemn our lives to an absence of joy. This gray sky existence is intolerable to the soul. It shouts at us daily to do something about it. But in the absence of meaningful ways to respond to sorrow, or from the sheer terror of entering the terrain of grief naked, we turn instead to distraction, addiction, or anesthesia. On my visit to Africa, I remarked to one woman that she had a lot of joy. Her response stunned me. She said, "That's because I cry a lot." This was a very un-American sentiment. She didn't say it because she shopped a lot, worked a lot, or kept herself busy. Here was Blake in Burkina Faso, sorrow and joy, grief and gratitude, side by side. It is indeed the mark of the mature adult to be able to carry these two truths simultaneously. Life is hard, filled with loss and suffering. Life is glorious, stunning, and incomparable. To deny either truth is to live in some fantasy of the ideal or to be crushed by the weight of pain. Instead, both are true, and it requires a familiarity with both sorrow and joy to fully encompass the full range of being human. You know, if you watch my services on Sunday, you'll probably see that pretty much every Sunday I do cry during a sermon. And that's not something I'm ashamed of. I cry a lot, not even when I'm in a grief state. If there's anything that losing my son gave me was my tears, was my truth. He also gave me my laughter. I'm fast to laughter and joy. I can be in devastating tears and then see that something that's funny that cracks me up beyond, and vice versa. Like the other day, I was cracking up with my kids in the kitchen, and my son did something so funny. You wouldn't get it, but it was so funny. He's 14, and I love teenagers. I loved being a teenager, and I love their humor. I love everything about it. Well, I love the humor. I don't love the mouth talking back and all that, but that's part of it. So their identity, where they're getting what they need to be able to leave the nest eventually. But we were laughing hysterically in the kitchen, and I realized that the TV was going in the living room, and I went to go turn it off. And when I went to the living room, it was Sarah McLachlan singing "In the Arms of the Angels" with this sad crying dog. You know, you've all seen these commercials, and just looking so broken in, you know, an impoverished neighborhood, and it's the Humane Society asking for donations. I went from laughing to just seeing that to tears. And my Katya, who's 13, came out and she goes, "Are you serious? Are you actually crying right now?" And she always points out that I'm crying all the time. And I'm watching her watch me deal with life. It's really interesting. Like, I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out, but she's always watching me lately, observing and pointing out how I deal with life, I guess. And she didn't laugh at me that I was crying, but it was like she was taking in, like, how can you go from laughing to crying that quickly? Like, she's so observant of emotions and trying to figure out where they fit and where they don't. And I said to her, you know, when your children are small, like babies, when they're like 6 months to a year old, if you've had children, you can remember when they were really tired at night, where they got super hyper. We call it the witching hour, right? Where they're so funny and they're so playful and they're high children, but they're so on the edge of that sleepiness that there's such happiness, but then their eyes will start crying. And then they're sobbing and screaming. And there's no, that pendulum is like, it's like this far apart. You know what I mean? Between hysterical laughter to deep sadness. That's a measure of spiritual adulthood. When we reach to a truth like that. Because then we feel everything and it doesn't get stored away into a pain body where we store things away, as you know, Eckhart Tolle refers to, which is living in the power of now. Is a spiritual virtue. And living in the power of now means being exactly what your feeling being is. It sets us up for a much more peaceful heart, for a more loving and giving heart. To feel that deep empathy for life is beautiful. Tears because you see somebody sitting on the side of the road with kids and they're asking for money. Every time I see that, it makes me cry. Whenever I see any homeless person asking for money, it always makes me cry because it bothers me that there's suffering in this world like that. that we don't take care of each other. That there's people sleeping outside in this town, and it's so cold. These things should bother us. And we should seek to try to make a difference towards that. Instead of judging what lifestyle, who raised them, and how did they get to the point, are they going to use the money to drink, and are they going to use so many drugs? And it's like we do this judgment thing so we don't feel that this is a human being that has parents, that has siblings, and may even have children, that has lost their divinity with God. And where would God show up for them than through our empathy and compassion and our charity and our kindness? The things of the world affect us. And when we truly feel what we observe in life, then we become much more uniquely, keenly, and divinely guided to do what's right in every moment. And when we do what's right, when we are of service, of spirit, we feel really good. Because we're meant to be doers of God's work. Not just to receive the enlightened state, but to serve from that enlightened state. So I'm going to take you on a guided meditation. And this is a chakra cleansing and opening meditation. And then we'll go into silence for 5 or 10 minutes or something like that, depending on how long I read this. But when you work with your chakras, you want your chakras to be going clockwise as far as you looking at your own chakra. So if we're looking at our heart chakra that's sitting here, this is our heart, act like you're looking at it, it's going this way, right? You want to see your chakra spinning, because when someone passes away that ever gets when they pass away, like my mom goes to people's death sides and she helps with moving the body from the soul from the body, they then go the other direction to close the chakra so that the spirit is free and not attached to the physical anymore. Because we can tend to be, it's a really beautiful ceremony, and I just bring that up so that when you're not feeling great and there's a part of your body that's like hurting you or whatever, to see that chakra spinning fast. Like visualize the color of that chakra and seeing it like fast. Like stomach aches are usually your will. You've lost your will for life or your will towards something, and you need to see that yellow light spinning. So chakras are really important when it comes to meditation. We have lots of books and stuff in the bookstore about that. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you that because it doesn't really bring up your chakras spinning, but it's really important for your overall physical and mental health. Okay, so let's take a few deep breaths and get our back straight in our seat. Get your sit bones underneath you so you're not really letting the back of that pew hold your back, because it's really getting this direct connection with Father Sky, and we're going to anchor ourselves into Mother Earth. So you can start. We need the piano one, I think. Yeah. So we're going to take a few nice deep breaths, bringing your awareness fully to this present moment, and leave all of the disturbance of this world, your jobs, your whatever is just taking your peace away, and gift yourself this time to visualize. Let go of any busy thoughts preventing you from tapping into your inner essence. Now I begin the guided meditation, and as I mention each body part, I invite you to bring your awareness to it and relax it as deeply as you can. As you scan your body, if you encounter tension anywhere, simply use the power of your mind to melt it away as easily as warm water melts ice. Starting at the top of your head, relax your scalp completely. Feel the skin of your forehead and temples relax. Allow your eye muscles to release, your jaw to soften. And let your ears, nose, and chin, teeth and tongue and gums relax. Now just let this peaceful feeling flow down your neck. Feel it soothe your throat and dissolve any tension on contact as it glides down to your shoulders, upper arms, forearms, wrists, and hands. Let this peaceful sensation of relaxation begin to fill your torso. Feel it relax your chest, giving your heart more room to grow, more expansive, more loving, more giving and forgiving. Soften your belly muscles and let this relaxation penetrate even deeper, releasing any tension from your internal organs. Now let it wrap around you, enveloping you in love and peace as it softens all the back muscles all the way down to the base of your spine. Continue to breathe in deep, fluid breaths. Breathe in health, happiness, and harmony. Breathe out any tension, toxins, worries, or disease, allowing anything that does not serve you to leave your body like a dark cloud. Send this peaceful feeling into your hips and buttocks. Let it glide down your thighs, relaxing your legs completely as it flows down to your knees, calves, ankles, and feet. Allow any remaining tension from anywhere in your body to flow out your toes, leaving your whole body feeling very comfortable, peaceful, and relaxed. Continue to breathe deep, relaxing breaths, feeling your belly rise on the inhale and fall on the exhale. Notice how the air feels cooler as you breathe in and warmer as you breathe out. Now, imagine a golden, glowing ball of light about a foot above the crown of your head. On an inhalation, breathe that light in through the top of your head, through the center line of your body, right down to the tailbone. On the exhalation, breathe that light back up the way it came and out the top of your head. We will do this 3 times to begin to balance and align your chakras. Begin to focus on your root chakra at the base of your spine and visualize a vibrant red glowing ball of light. Or if you prefer, imagine a red crystal, flower, or fruit. This chakra brings health, security, and a dynamic presence. Feel it empower you as it connects you to Earth's energies. You are radiating power and vitality. Breathe the color red in and out and see yourself living your healthy ideal, feeling happy and grateful for radiant health and boundless energy, weighing your perfect weight with a strong, balanced immune system. Feel how good it feels to have all the energy you need to do all the things you love to do. Feel grateful for this magnificent body that moves so freely and well and looks and feels so good. Now let this vibrant red chakra continue to glow and spin as you move up to your sacral chakra, located between your root chakra and your navel. Here, see a radiant, glowing orange ball of light. This chakra holds the energy of money, power, sexuality, and creativity. Breathe in a rich, beautiful orange color and feel it bring the gifts of being happy, enthusiastic, prosperous, and abundant. See yourself experiencing true wealth on every level, being grateful for the abundance in your life now, and imagine abundance flowing to you in expected and unexpected ways. Let this chakra continue to glow and spin as you move up to your solar chakra, located a few inches above your navel. Here, see a beautiful, sunny, yellow, glowing ball of light, or visualize a lemon or a sunflower. As you breathe in a vibrant yellow color, feel it expand your joy, self-worth, and personal power. See yourself successful and deeply fulfilled in your dream job. Feel the glowing yellow chakra empower you as you move up to your heart chakra at the center of your chest, and visualize a beautiful emerald green or a soft pink glowing ball of light. This is the chakra of love for yourself and others. Let it glow, bringing gifts of compassion, self-acceptance, and the ability to love deeply. Breathe in pink or green, and let these feelings expand, seeing yourself living in perfect harmony with everyone in your life. Let it fill you with gratitude for this opportunity to live in this wonderful world. Feel your heart swell with compassion and forgiveness for yourself and others. Now let the chakra continue to glow and spin and gently move up to your throat chakra, located at your throat, visualizing a beautiful blue color. This chakra enables you to communicate with truth and wisdom and express yourself with confidence. Breathing blue in and out, see yourself happily expressing your uniqueness through a creative outlet you enjoy, such as singing, dancing, playing a sport, anything you do for fun. Let this chakra continue to glow and spin and gently move up to your third eye chakra located at the center of your forehead. See a beautiful deep purple, blue, indigo colored glowing ball of light. As it glows, it expands your imagination, psychic abilities, inner knowing, and wisdom. Feel fully supported by the universe as you pursue your personal, spiritual growth goals, happily following your highest path. See yourself living your ideal in the personal growth area of your life, whatever that means to you. Now let this indigo light continue to glow and spin as you gently move up to your crown chakra at the top of your head. This is the chakra of spirituality, thought, and service to others. Breathe in violet or white, gold or silver, and let this chakra glow as it brings gifts of self-knowledge, spiritual connection, and bliss. See yourself living in wisdom and awareness, surrendering into divine love, joyfully contributing to the world in the way most meaningful for you. Let the chakra glow and spin as you bring your awareness back to the golden glowing light above your head. Now breathe it down through your crown chakra to your third eye chakra, to your throat chakra, heart chakra, solar and sacral chakra, right down to your root chakra. On exhalation, breathe it back up the way it came as it passes through each chakra. Visualize the golden light, cleansing and purifying each chakra, restoring your entire being to perfection and balance and health. And now we will go into silence with the music still playing for 5 minutes. Keep those chakras blazing, and if there's one that's calling to you that's looking dimmer, go put your focus on that and put all your energy to get it as bright as all the other chakras, because it will show you which ones are dim, and those ones need attention right now. So work on getting even clarity between the colors of the chakras, and then keep moving the golden light up and down through them. become observant of all of your chakras that are spinning and see them now sinking into your body. And you know that they're there, but now you start to see your skin and yourself, and knowing that they're always spinning healthfully, helping your body, your mind, your spirit to stay connected, to stay strong, to be healthy, to be intuitive, to be worthy, to be honest, to be of service. And let's take this time now to put our hands out to be conduits for others, to bring healing to this world. Taking all this that we just created in our body, we're filled with loving, healing vibrations of peace and love, to see a light surrounding our planet. And seeing love and charity and kindness and authenticity coming into the leaders that have power to make decisions to start taking care of our Mother Earth. For we have no life without her. And today some really wonderful things happened where things were being signed to start really becoming a country that cares about our Mother Earth. And we want to see more and more of that as we also do well in our recycling and composting and being fully in our bodies as authentic beings, recognizing the stamp that we are leaving for our children, our grandchildren, and 12 generations ahead. And for the next minute, we're going to call out names for prayer that have been submitted to our prayer box, as well as any friends that you have. We can all just call them out and let the universe put the burden of whatever these people are facing in God's hands, and we see them healed, whole, happy, connected, supported. Robert, Pay, Nick, Brian, Paul Brook, Kai V, Julie Johnson, Sharon and Lloyd Postnikoff, the Cunningham family, Judy Kennedy, Maya Cunningham, Brian Lane, Sarah Lane, Linda Fallick, Audrey, the Armand family, the Livingstons family, Sally Eddy, Laura Hanson, Annie Rains and Ivan, Sandy Spahn, Megan Day, Cassidy Simpson, the Simpson family, Dennis Drake, Michael Cox, Rhonda and Jeff Hansen, Eric Hansen, Tabitha and Michelle Closecard, Jack and Norma, Beverly Figler, Kendra Figler and Jake, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us, and the power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us, and wherever we are, God is. Amen. We will take an offering for unity now. And for those of you that are live with us, you can, there's baskets in the lobby as you leave if you would like to leave a donation to Unity. And for the rest of you, there should be a slide that's appearing on live stream that shows you the ways To tithe, there's a text to tithe. You can go to our website at unityofboulder.com and scroll to the bottom of the page and hit the button, Give Now. But with that said, we'll bless our offerings with this offering statement. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, and all that I give, and all that I receive because I give. Amen. Holy believe, love heals, love, pure love, heals. Only believe, love heals, love, pure love, heals. Only believe, love heals, love, pure love, heals. So it is. Thank you for coming. Good night.